Hey gang, it's Chris Angel coming at you for another episode of Marketing for the Rest of Us, and we're talking about bottlenecks today. You are the bottleneck to all that you have desired. Let's unpack it, shall we? I've said this before. I always say this. I've said this before, but that's what happens when you're 261 episodes in to a show. I will say it again. I heard years ago Abraham Hicks said, all cooperating components in the universe are working to bring you what you've asked for, right? All cooperating components in the world, in the universe, are cooperating and working towards bringing you what you've asked for, what you seek, what you're wanting. And you are the only uncooperative component. Isn't that interesting? I love that. I always loved that quote. I loved it so much I memorized it. But it's like, doesn't that make sense? If you really believe in abundance, if you really believe that God is for you, that the universe is on your side, and that all the cooperating components are coming to you, but you are the one who keeps blocking what's trying to get to you. Here's what I noticed for me. I'm present to this lesson right now because I was working through it today. I have a lot of things that I want to do. I have big vision and I've got some big things in the works. And I've been noticing I have this adrenal fatigue, right? I've burned my energy resources over years of grinding, figuring it out, trying to figure it out. All the things I've tried to do to unleash all the things I want to create in the world. This is what we do as business people, I think. I think we're wired this way. We're wired to go, produce. And so in the space of trying to figure it out and unleash our vision on the world, we go. And in the process of that, you burn your physical energy resources to the ground. I mean, at least I did, and I don't think I'm alone. And the way it starts is by you going out looking for answers. You're like, I gotta find an answer. And you fill your mind first with a bunch of ideas. Have you heard that saying, right? Our thoughts lead to our feelings lead to our actions lead to our results. Have you heard this? Well, you fill your mind with a ton of information, and guess what feeling that leaves you with? For me, it left me with a lot of overwhelm, or a lot of different directions to try to implement at the same time. That's tough, right? And so in the space of trying to spin all these plates, juggle all these things, implement all these things, I just had no space. I had no space in my mind. And so what happened was I started to be the bottleneck to the very things I was trying to create. In other words, I was spinning so many plates. I was trying to do so many things that I had no space in my life or my mind or my body physically for the ideas and the revelations to come through. So what I saw, and I saw this morning, what I saw is that the answer, well, the first thing you got to see is that you're the bottleneck. That's the first thing, right? And I had not seen that. I had sort of related to it like the answer's out there somewhere and there's some external force that's opposing me rather than I am the force imposing myself. I had the coolest insight or revelation or about this, and that was like, I'm a channel. I'm not a channeler, like I can't speak to dead people and I can't read your thoughts and things like that. But I am a channel for divine things to come through, and so are you. And what shifted for me was I've been trying to produce a result in a very physical way, and that's important. I think that's a part of the process. But I was missing the part where I needed to create space in my heart, my mind, my body, like literally space, like stop playing podcasts all the time and just listen to silence. I went for a walk this morning with my dog, which I do every morning. I usually listen to a podcast or more. Today I didn't because I was feeling overwhelmed and I didn't listen to a podcast. And what I received was space, lots of space. And what I noticed was that my body, in my gut, behind my sternum, my body started to relax and open up. And your body is a vessel. Your body is a receiving piece of equipment for revelation, for insight. And so as my body began to relax, because my mind was relaxed, because I wasn't listening to another podcast, because I had given myself space, what I realized was in that space, everything else can come through. That's the principle here, right? The principle is that space allows it all to come through. So when I think about how big my vision is and all the things I want to accomplish in life, the answer is not in spinning a bunch of plates. The answer is creating space so that as a channel, this is important. It's an important distinction, because if you can see yourself as a channel for divine things to come through, then you respect the space. You don't fill the space with a bunch of ideas and information all the time. You respect the space and you allow the revelation to come through. And when it comes through, now you have something specific to implement in your business for a result called impact and cash, right? Impact and income. So this is how do we get out of our own way? Well, one, you've got to acknowledge and accept that you have been the bottleneck to your own success. And once you can see that, for me, the answer I'm getting now even is to create more space in your life. Create more space in your mind by not consuming so many things. Create more space in your heart by forgiving and getting rid of emotional baggage. Create space in your gut. Create space in your physical body by not, you don't need to cram food down all the time, like whatever it is, but create space, because when you create space, it allows everything else in your vision to come through. Okay? I love that. I love that. That is like a life verse for me right there, right? Space allows it all to come through. That's the principle. Space allows it all to come through. So here's what there is to do today, gang. Rather than cramming more in, start to let it dissipate, start to let it wash away, and just create space, because it's in space that it all comes through. Thanks for hanging out with me here in this episode. If you guys would like to learn more about how to create space in your marketing, so you're not having to do all the different to-do lists of marketing, but you're able to focus on the things that matter so that the divine can come through your marketing message and inspire those you seek to serve, I have a 6-week program called the Groundswell Method Intensive. You can go to groundswellmethod.com. The link is actually in the comments of this post. And it's 6 weeks. You'll watch a free video. On the end of that free video is in the application for that 6-week program. And just fill it out and we'll talk. Thanks for hanging out with me here. Here's to all of you creating more space so that the divine can come through. See you tomorrow.